start this video, I would like to mention that apart from building a simple wooden house, I don't have any building experience. And on top of that, I'm new to Minecraft Hardcore, so that's gonna be fun.
So to start this video off, you may notice that I know where I'm going, and that's because I know. I have died a few times already in this world. It's not funny, and one of them is certainly not me jumping into a cobweb and getting blown up by a creeper in my face because I wanted to get a clip for the video. But anyway, you might be wondering why did I pick this world to recreate it again? And that's an excellent question, my Minecraft viewing friend. It's because this seed is bonkers. And now when I say bonkers, I mean bonkers. And I know that I'm playing a modded Minecraft, but I'm not using mods to alter some of those things. And some of those things are: I have a village next to my house with a black cat in it with orange eyes. I have an ancient city beneath my base. Plus, on top of that, I spawn in a modded nether fortress when I enter my nether portal. On top of that, there is a skeleton spawner right beneath my base. And only God knows how many other things are hidden around the world.
So naturally the first thing I did is I went ahead and started searching for iron, because if I'm going to survive in this hardcore world, I will need it. And after a little bit of digging, I stumbled across this weird place. And naturally, I already knew what this place meant. And I really wasn't too excited about having my face splattered across the cave wall, so I went back to mining. After gathering some diamonds, I decided that my mining venture was an overall success. And after that I went back to the surface and started working on my city. But unfortunately, as I was working on my base, I realized that I had a serious problem of colossal proportions. And what's that problem, you may ask? I didn't have any, and I mean any dark oak wood. And to be quite honest with you, having a base without dark oak wood in it's like having a birthday without a cake. Luckily, my seed was gracious, and it bestowed upon me some chocolate wood after a short boat trip. And after that I got back to my base and started laying the foundation. Now, since this base is gonna be more of a Victorian-esque pirate base port city, the main resource that I'm gonna primarily use is gonna be wood. And how much wood is gonna be that? Many wood. But to keep it simplified, while I was creating my base, I decided that mostly the floor and base is gonna be of oak and or jungle wood. The outside corners are mostly gonna be from dark oak, second floor from birch and other materials, and the roofs were gonna be spruce. And after some building, I decided that my house needs a second floor. And I won't lie to you, brothers, building tips and tricks videos were the saving grace of me. And that's a big shout out to the Minecraft buildy boys on YouTube. I meant Minecraft builders in general. Anyway, after a bit of building, I decided to check out my progress. And very much to my dismay, the house was looking pretty boring. So I had to think of something to save my property, and I decided to add some stone bricks to the beginning of my first floor. And naturally some windows and those things on the windows. I went outside for a second glance and yeah, it was starting to look like something. But anyway, I'm not gonna worry about it too much right now, because in the end it's gonna turn out great. And right after that I had the brilliant idea of surrounding my place with trees. But hold up, stranger, not just any trees. I was gonna surround my base with great jungle trees. And what I mean by that is that I would place a jungle tree, and right on top of that I would place another, to give that spicy feeling of being a part of a huge and rich world. And after planting some trees, I shamelessly took a bridge idea from Google Images. And this bridge was perfect for me because it was simple and yet so effective. After implementing my very much so original bridge idea, like and subscribe for more original bridge ideas, I was running on empty and I needed a farm. So a small vegetable farm I built. I quickly started by bulldozering the kinks in the surrounding land and evening it out. Then right after that I planted some crops, and after that I went to plant some more trees. After starting the foundation of my farm, I went to chop some trees. And trust me, we're gonna have a lot of tree chopping. Help. So after chopping some trees, I decided that it's high time that I started building my dock. And let's be honest, what is a port city without a dock? For the dock, I decided that I want to keep the same bridge formula, but with the small difference that I want it to be a bit wider. And what that meant, the dock was gonna be 7 blocks in total, with 5 in the middle and 2 for the sides. After doing some scavenging of video, I went ahead and started expanding my base. And the next addition would be a small fishing shack. I'm not gonna lie, that fishing shack at the beginning it looked like the saddest creation. But that really didn't matter at the time because, again, I was out of wood. And you know what that means? Chop, 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 chop. But at this point of time, I remember that I could actually bone meal trees and make them grow faster. And that actually was great for me because I could just sit in one place and be more efficient. So I returned to Dark Oakland. Yeah, I named my Dark Oak chopping place Dark Oakland. Anyway, after bone mealing my tree, this happened. I'm swimming on grass. Anyway, I noticed that I was starting to have a serious bee problem, but that wasn't here or there, so I just got back to planting more trees. And after planting some sappy boys, I decided to confront my worst fear at the moment. That was building a roof. And to nobody's surprise, it wasn't looking too fly, but that's gonna change in the future, don't worry. Chop, 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 chop. I decided to adorn the fishing shack with some fences. And yeah, that was a good idea. So a build rat could suffocate in this narrow passage, so I knew that I had to widen it. After some terraforming and evening it out, I decided that I'm gonna plateau the area on top, and that's where 2 more houses were going to be placed. Those 2 houses primarily were gonna be made of jungle wood. And the main reason for that is, there are actually 2 reasons. The first one was so much oak wood was starting to wear on my eyes. And the second one is I really needed to introduce some variety to my place. And that variety happened to be jungle wood, mixed with dark oak. After some uneventful placing of blocks, I decided to go down and work on the dock area and the connecting paths. And you might be noticing that in some places, I am putting down in the water dark oak and continuing it on the top with oak. And that's to create the illusion that the logs are wet on the bottom. How do you like them apples, eh? After tending to the dock area and spending an embarrassing amount of time on a small bridge, I went ahead and started making a blacksmith house. It was naturally gonna be in the mountain area, because naturally I didn't want the fire to spread and burn all my bridges down, and I figured it looks more aesthetically pleasing. Anyway, the blacksmith house is gonna be very simple, because the blacksmith himself is a simple and a modest man, God bless his heart. Always giving to the community and never caring about himself. What a man! Anyway, I don't know where I'm going with this tangent, I'm just placing blocks. So after the long day of work, I got back home and hit the sack. So here we're gonna have a bit of a time skip, because I wasn't feeling the video at this time. And I wasn't sure if I wanted to continue it or not. And that was only gonna happen if I felt excited again for the build. But luckily for me, I managed to sort things out with the build and decided that I'm gonna continue. And as you can see here, the base was starting to look a lot more better. It had a lot more flavor and everything, and I was feeling it again. And that was just about the time I figured out that I can use birchwood for the top half of the buildings. And that was a really great idea because it allowed your eyes to rest from all the monotonous colors. So yeah, I finished off the walls of the second floor of the building. And looky here, that's the fishing shack. I'm not gonna lie, I'm really pleased with this design. It was really what I was trying to do. To make it really simple, but yet look good. And bam, I managed to do that. Anyway, after congratulating myself, I started to replace more walls with birchwood. And yeah, from this point on, this place was starting to get more and more so after the minute. Oh yeah, and I built this random bridge here. Now what was left for me is just to finish off the roof. And finish the roof I did. And bam! Although it's not completely finished, that's gonna happen a bit later in the building career of my video, but needless to say I had a really simple design again and I was happy about it. So after that I gave myself a break from building and decided I need to hunt myself some baddies. And target acquired. And what could be the best thing for a pirate such as myself? Of course that would be another pirate ship. After plundering some chests and disposing of the main threat, I decided to take the battle to the deck and take care of any non-believers that dare question my authority and pirate status. After the deed was done, I took one last rummage through their chests, and there was only one thing for me to do after the fact. That's to set the ship on fire. Anyway, after satisfying my pyromania and enjoying the sunset, I decided to go back home. And shortly after arriving there, I stopped in my tracks to enjoy the view. Because look at it. Magnificent. After that, I went to bed for a well-deserved sleep, and guess what? Tree chopping time! Again! I am chopping on the railroad all of the trees. Anyway, mental breakdown aside, I decided that it's high time for me to kidnap a villager. I mean, invite them to my house for a tea party. Yeah, a tea party. So I found those two guys chilling on the hill and decided that one of them is gonna be my victim. So I decided to place down my beautiful boat and one of them decided to get captured. I turned back and went ahead to clear a path, and to my dismay when I turned around... Are you kidding me? After scolding them for a bit, I managed to capture one. And I had the brilliant idea to place down wooden slabs so the boat can climb the blocks. And much to my dismay, that's not how it works. Not at all. After realizing my severe and continuous lapse in my judgment, I decided to dig a straight hole through the hill. After accommodating the villager to his new workspace and home, I figured that he needs a name. And the name I gave him, O puny villager, whom until this point of time was nameless and pathetic, I here and now bestow upon you the name Name Tag. Enjoy your stay, Name Tag! After completing some successful trade deal offers, I went back to building. Because let's be honest, the town was looking pretty sad at some points and somebody needed to fix that, and that somebody was me. I cleared off some natural terrain around the area so it has more water, and for my latest building I decided that I don't want to use wood anymore. Well, apart from the acacia wood, but that's not here nor there. I was referring to the tower, and the tower I was gonna build with terracotta. And to mining terracotta I went. Small wood chopping break. After that I went ahead to finish the roof of the tower, and right after that I went down to check what I have done. And in my humble opinion, it was starting to look pretty nice. And it looked so good because I never believed in the heart of the cards. Don't you guys have a life? Anyway, after attempting to have a break for the night, I noticed some suspicious activity happening around the area, and barged down to check what's happening. This disgusting thief managed to escape me a few times, but right after I caught up to him, I discovered that he was using some camouflage, and you know I couldn't let that slide, so I had to end him here and there. And after that I got spat on by the llama, and I quickly taught it a lesson that it's gonna never forget. Are you gonna spit at me, huh? That's what I thought. Anyway, more building, and you guessed it, more wood chopping. Yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna shut up for a bit and place some more trees in silence. I decided to bone meal the grass as well because everything looks better with a bit of a foliage. When I went down, I had another look at my base and it'd be looking good, man. Anyway, here's where I upgrade my bridge once again. And right after that, I spend an embarrassing amount of time of building another smaller bridge again. And right after that, I went around the base and placed some tasteful barrels. And after that, I had the genius idea of, get this, cutting down leaves with shears and placing them around. I know, right? Genius. So, as I was building my base around, you know, just chilling, placing some blocks in Minecraft, I started wondering, how am I gonna manipulate people into liking this video? And I sat there, putting blocks, thinking, putting blocks, thinking, and then I got it. I'll just get a dog. And a dog I got. Right? I just got back and I would like to introduce you to, drumroll please, dog. Like and subscribe please. And after that I decided that I was sick from building, and again I went on an adventure. After swimming for a bit I found this cool mountain and I decided to go and have a look inside. And right from the entrance I was greeted with new blocks that I have never seen before and plants. After that I ventured deeper inside the cave. So after ascending and enjoying the marvelous view, I quickly noticed that something is approaching me and wants to have an attempt on my life. I quickly pulled out my sword in anticipation and... Who are you, little guy? Now that would have made an excellent addition to my base, but at the time I didn't know how to catch it and I didn't remember how to Google. Yeah. After that I decided to venture down in the deep dark cave, and after that I was greeted with another beautiful view, and you guessed it, another cave. It's bigger and darker. Haha. And what happened after that? I descended deeper and I found some more new and curious blocks for me to use, and I got back home. I went ahead and told the story of my adventure to my dog, gave it a kiss and went to bed. Wood chopping break? Anyway, the reason I needed to chop some more wood is because I needed a ship. And what's a pirate base without a ship? And you know what they say, a pirate base without a ship is like a car without a quack. Anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself. Did you know that building a ship is not easy? Well, I didn't. And that's where I struggled. A lot. And that's why I'm gonna cut most of the shipbuilding, is just because it's me struggling. Anyway, I went to share my long day with my dog, and after that I went for a deserved break. But as the new day came, I realized that I don't have any wool to make sails for my ship. And as any respectful member of the society, I went ahead and appropriated them from another ship. So, after doing some knee chopping, I noticed that this would be a perfect emerald farm, if I didn't get bored of it. But lo and behold, I did get bored of it and destroyed the spawner and took care of the other business. After securing the ship for myself, I went ahead and took their sails. And while editing this video I have noticed my critical flaw. And that would be, I didn't set the ship on fire when leaving. I know, shame. Anyway, I went back home, I put the sails on my ship, and deservedly so, I went to bed. The next day was rather uneventful, because the thing I did most is run around the base and add some more polish to things. And now you might be wondering that why I haven't furnished anything. And I really decided that I'm gonna do that in time. And what I mean by that is that the base is slowly gonna grow as I record the other episodes. Like one episode you're gonna see a new rug and the other a new foliage. And I'm basically gonna do that because it's gonna feel more natural to me. Now, enough talking, what I'm gonna do now is just give you a tour around the base and see what I have done. Anyway, guys, I really do appreciate you watching the video. It took a lot of time and effort on my side. And do please consider subscribing and or liking the video. Anyway, enjoy the last cinematic shots I have on my base. Ciao! Oh yeah, and be sure to stick around for episode 2. We're gonna be building a nether portal.